The Earbuds Podcast, presented by Headliner Music Club.
All right, are we good to go?
We're good to go.
Let's do it. Earbuds Podcast, episode number 32, part 2, with DJ Ever from Orange County.
Hold on, let me mute my mic for this real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, give it to him. Give it to him. Oh, no. We need the mic. You gotta let him know what the power clap is.
No,
hey, you know how the Avengers,
yeah,
you know how like the Avengers have like everyone has like a superpower and stuff like that. Evers he's got this clap that just rattles windows and like.
Yeah, I would have blown Scratchy's monitors away if I would have.
No, he's done this to me. Like real talk, I'd be in the studio with him, and then all of a sudden, from like he just comes from behind and just goes like the biggest like. Do it. Just show him. I look like an idiot. I'm just clapping right now.
I wish I was at the office right now and I would just get 5.
Oh, dude, I like twitch my eyes twitch every time he's like just preparing for impact.
Hey, if you see Ever in public, just ask him to do the power clap.
And lucky for you guys, I have a waiver you got to sign before I do it, so we're good to go.
You got to have earplugs, protective equipment.
You've been warned.
Goggles, you never know. Yeah. All right. So where are we here? We left off with deep digs. We got quick picks coming up, songs you're playing out, and ones to watch, and what's the scenario, guilty pleasures, cleaning the crates, classic or cooked, and 10 questions with DJ Ever. Man, there's a lot on here. And Neil's got to dip out because he's got a private party, so we got to get through these as soon as we can.
All right, let's go. Let's
go to deep digs real quick. I got one. This is an account that came across SoundCloud.com. Start Track, StartRakk. He's from Boston. He's got some dope edits, a lot of like Jersey Club type stuff and some
dope
other stuff. So follow that account. Go ahead. Anyone else?
I have Four Raws, Big Sean, okay, Four Raws, Mercy, Paradox, DJ Tool from SoundCloud. I See You Baby Boy, Bala edit. That's a Playboy Cardi. And those are my 2 from SoundCloud.
A lot of heat on SoundCloud, I'll tell you that.
That was. Go ahead, Neil.
I've recently started to pop into Hood Politics' SoundCloud page. They were like pumping out tracks.
They got a lot of heat.
Big shout out to Smith and Soren. That's it.
Them boys.
Them
nice
dudes.
Ever, you got any people or counts, songs that we should be knowing about?
Like on SoundCloud?
Yeah, or anything, Bandcamps. You get, I mean, okay, just so everybody knows, Ever is like the guy who puts a lot of the music up, or all of the music up on HMC. So he's kind of an encyclopedia of
I do all the music research, yes, for sure.
Yeah. So what are some accounts that, or something that you go like, hey, I gotta hit this?
The Hood Politics account's really dope. They got a lot of heat on there. Brilliant's really. Is it Brilliant or Brilliant?
Brilliant,
Brilliant,
right?
yeah.
Super dope. He almost every edit that dude puts out is fire, and it's very unique. It's not anything repetitive. I like that guy's edits a lot.
Yeah, but you hear a lot of his stuff on YouTube sets.
There's just so much on SoundCloud. I can't even think. But lucky for you guys, most of it, or if not all of it, that I find is on HMC. So, and there's a lot of heat.
That's a perfect plug. That's
a lot of heat on there. You know,
send them all back to that.
I tell Five and Scratchy this all the time. Like, I get borderline upset because I'm like, there's so many hot edits and records on HMC that probably just go unnoticed. You know.
Put them in. That's why we work on playlists.
Playlists for sure. But yeah, if you ever get some time, go on and check out some cool edits.
Yes. Make sure you do it. All right, speaking of edits, let's go to new records you are playing out. I got some for you here. Let me, I'll just run through mine. I got Harry Styles' American Girl, Twin Sick remix edit extended version. American Girls, I feel like that's a song I think we talked about in the last podcast from Harry Styles. All right, another Talk to You, obviously. Fisher, Tones, and I Favor, great record. Favor, small. It's I feel like that's good for a small room. I mean, I don't know if I'm scared to play it in a big room, but it's a cool vibe.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Who's next?
I got Ho Phase and Cheetah Print. It's my two songs new records I'm playing out.
I like that.
One
Go
with Drake.
ahead.
I mean, I guess mine is Too Hard for the Radio. I did like Road Trips, Cheetah Print. Those are the ones that I'm playing too.
All right. Ever?
Cool. I'm playing like a lot of new dance. Like a lot of the gigs I do, I'm playing like, Another Talk to You is not necessarily a new record, but great like disco kind of house vibe. And the new Prosper record, not mad at it. The Murder Beats record, I'm not mad at that. I thought it was going to be a lot better, not going to cap, but pretty cool. I'm not mad at that.
It's hard to play though. I don't know where you're going to be able, unless you got a good remix or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
At least the rooms that we're playing in.
What about Clooney, Free Your Mind? You guys play that?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's my favorite song of all time. Yeah.
That's Prosper's newish record, right, Jerzy?
Yeah. I heard it. I heard it. That was it's a cool song, guys.
Golly.
All right, ones to watch, new artists or songs that are bubbling. You may not be playing out, but you're just kind of have your eye or ear on them. I have Charlie XCX rock music. I don't know. It's kind of catchy.
Yeah.
I got Drake Ho-Phase, Drake and Sexy Red Cheetah Print. And then here's a curveball one. I don't know how this is going to go. Trap Dicky, LA Nights.
Oh, actually, I just heard that yesterday.
That's the one with the sample, right? What was the sample again?
That samples in the sun. All right, what is it?
It's Weezer.
Weezer, right?
Island in the Sun, yeah.
Island in the Sun. Yeah. It's cool. I don't know what it's gonna do, but it was cool. It's a cool record. I like it. It's refreshing.
All right. Wait, what are we doing? Ones to watch? New artists?
Yeah.
Prosper. It's got this new record, Free Your Mind.
Don't do it, man.
Oh,
Jerzy, you gotta start playing that one out.
Trust us, it'll go.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
I think we talked about this record, Hots for You, Chris Lorenzo. It's gonna be
That's a fire record.
that's a fire dance record, and for hip hop, yeah. I mean, fuck that Trap Dicky. For me, because I love Island in the Sun. So
Do you guys ever play Baby Chief Do It records?
That was on my ones to watch a while back.
Confidently say
ago.
I've never played.
Go
that.
take a gander. Go get a gander of some of his records. Real like street hip hop records, but pretty dope.
Did
Where's
you
he-
see
where's he
him
from?
on Rolling Loud doing that viral?
Oh, sure.
I mean, did you see him on?
that
Rolling
was
Loud?
him. Oh,
Yeah, that little kid just like dancing on stage.
Yeah.
No shirt on. I was like, damn, go ahead, kid. But yeah, he was on my ones to watch. I just haven't really gotten any requests for him, but I fuck with him. That kid is dope. So is it my turn?
Yeah.
Or was it ever? Are you still going?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. My ones to watch: Nems and Lil Yachty geeking.
I like that one.
This isn't new, but I'm now starting to play it again, but in the South it's actually pretty big. But people are fucking with it now here. Belly Gang Friend Do remix.
I don't know what Belly who?
Belly Gang. The song's called Friend Do. Bounce that ass like your friend do.
Oh wow, nah. I need to download that.
Yeah, you got to play that one. That's a big hip hop record. Young Miami, Spend That.
Are the DJs still mad at her?
I heard.
I
heard.
What happened? I don't know.
She just went off.
Went off on a DJ from like a legendary hip hop dude from Chicago too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just. I mean.
I think she did an apology, and then she would.
She realized that. Yeah, she realized that's probably not a good look at the end of the day, right? So
that dude had a lot of support, but yeah.
And 42 Dougs and Skilla Baby, Thick One.
What?
Okay.
I don't even know this.
That's some. If you're trying to get the ratchet.
Neil, do you play Cash Cobain in New York or no?
Yeah. Well, the last big song that he had that I'm playing is Hoes Be Mad.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
I got a new one called "I Want to Rock." That's pretty dope.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
just
really?
got that. Yeah, on
I
email.
gotta go check that one.
Is that everybody? We got this? Was that everybody?
Yeah.
Nice. All right,
Sure
what's the scenario? We'll run through this real quick. What's a song you probably shouldn't love as much as you do, but somehow it always works?
Man, Iconopop, I love it. And I love it.
It works
much.
every time.
It does.
Every fucking time.
Every time, man.
That is a real good one.
And
Neil?
I don't even need a remix. Just hit me with
Yeah, I
the OG.
Yeah.
hit the original, from the top.
It works. Neil, you got one?
I got actually two, but I'm like looking for the other one. What the fuck? Maroon 5, Sunday Morning.
That's
a cute one.
Random.
That's my running song. I run to that.
I mean, if it's giving you energy to run, it works. I'm looking for the other one, but keep going, and I'll.
I'm sure Jerzy has a really good one. I bet you.
I have. This is one. Mariah Carey, "Always Be My Baby."
Now that's a cute one.
It's that was like my prom or whatever song that was. Or no, it was
That's like the end of the
high
night
school
song too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was that. But you know what? One that came up recently, Justin Bieber one time. That actually, I heard it somewhere and I was like, man. And then I started playing it just throwing it in as a joke or whatever, and it went off. And I was like, oh,
Really?
man, that was like
I
his
used to like that
first
song.
single. Yeah, you remember that? That was
he still sounds like a kid on that record.
Yeah, it 100%. But like I think after that whole Coachella performance and everything like that, it's just kind of like it popped back up, and I was like, hey, maybe I'll just throw that in there, and it went over really well. So
I played a club in Koreatown a couple weeks ago, and I played just the OG album version of Beauty and a Beat. My gosh.
Oh yeah.
just play the original. That's
Yeah,
it.
the radio goes off.
Bro, that has been my like anthem for like the past like 3 years.
Yeah, it goes off.
It's
You
so
just play
good.
the OG and just let it go.
Zed just played it. He produced it, right? He produced that song.
I think so.
Yeah. He did it EDC. Ever, what do you got?
I actually played this record over the weekend, and I love it. The production's crazy. Opalite, but the Chris Lake version. You ever heard that? Taylor
Yeah.
Swift. So good.
Yeah, everyone was like, "How does he get that was an official remix too?" I think
For sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You posted
saw
the
the
whole
story. It was-
yeah.
it was like Travis Kelce was a huge fan of his, and like it's a pretty, just go search for it. It's pretty nuts. Neil, are you good on time, Neil? Or can we
Plenty
gotta
of
go?
time.
I had to remind him that he had a gig.
Yeah, I gotta go, guys.
Neil, we
Hi,
love you,
Neil.
man. Thank you for participating as long as you did.
Appreciate you.
All right,
Neil,
gotta-
go use the bathroom.
Neil's got a gig. We're gonna do this real quick. Classic or cooked. Cleaning the crates. All right, this is just going through your library right here, and we're just basically talking about songs that you're like, man, do I need to play this? Do I need to keep it? What should I do with it? So we're just gonna go around the room real quick. All you got to say is classic or cooked, as in like you're not playing it anymore. And classic, yeah, it's never gonna go away. So why don't we go down the list real quick? We'll start with we'll do the order. Will be ever 5, and then I'll just bring up the rear.
You said classic or what?
Cooked.
Or cooked. Perfect.
Yep. All right, number 15. We'll just run through these as fast as I can. I didn't know I had 15 on here. Jeez. All right, Drake, Way Too Sexy.
Oh, cooked.
Cooked Unk.
Cooked. Yeah. All right.
He's got too many records for you to be playing that one, but
Too many records.
too many records.
Roddy Ricch, The Box.
Classic.
Meek,
Classic.
cooked.
That's no trouble.
I'm saying cooked. Pop Smoke, Dior.
Cooked.
Classic.
I'm 50-50 on that one. Cardi B, Bodak Yellow.
Classic.
That's a
Works
classic.
every time.
Classic. Young Thug, Rich Homie Quan, Lifestyle.
Classic.
Damn, I love that song. Classic.
It was massive in Hawaii. I had no idea what that must have been a massive song out there for them. Bobby Shmurda, Hot
Hot Boy.
Hot Boy. Hot Boy.
Classic, man.
It's a classic.
Classic, still works. Sheck West, Mobama.
Classic.
Classic.
Classic. Waka Flocka, No Hands.
Classic.
That's a classic. I mean, burned out, but I'm gonna call it a classic.
Yeah. There's not. We don't have that many options at this point. Yeah. Fetty Wap, Trap Queen.
Classic.
Classic goes off to this day.
He's getting. He just got out of prison, right, or something like that, and he's putting a tour out. He's getting this like new, like resurgence. All of a sudden, I'm seeing so many videos of him. Future March Madness in May.
Yeah, I don't play that song unless
I mean, I love that record, but yeah, I'm not playing it.
it's cooked for me.
Yeah, it's cooked.
I'm gonna call that a classic, man.
Chief Keef, Love Sosa. Classic.
Classic.
Thank you, guys. Jay-Z and Kanye. Paris.
Yeah,
Voice
I
in
mean,
Paris. I haven't played it in a long time, but it's still a classic.
you
It's
can
a
play that
classic.
record anywhere, at a corporate party, at a hip hop gig, and you can play it literally anywhere.
Yeah, it still goes off.
Yeah,
Travis Porter, A Ladies.
Cooked.
that's a classic for me.
It's a classic. You don't play that 5? Wow.
There isn't very many like 95 BPM records to play anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
Right?
you just,
That's a
that's,
go-to.
that's same as Nice for What. It's kind of like
Yeah.
you're in that zone. All right, Nice for What, number 2.
I haven't played it in a
It's a
while.
classic.
It's classic, yeah.
Travis Scott, Sicko Mode, number 1.
Classic.
Classic for sure, but
It's classic. I haven't played
I don't
it.
play it. Yeah, I don't play
Yeah,
it.
I forgot. Cool, guys. We did the classic or cooked. We're all good with that. Let's get the 10 questions with DJ Ever.
Yes.
There it is, right there. I'll give you a minute.
Power claps. Dude, the pictures are falling off your wall. That was wild. All right. Ever from all the way from Orange County.
From Anaheim.
Anaheim, Orange County.
By the way, I
Dude,
know you saw the Ducks, man. The Ducks had a nice little run. You're a hockey
They
guy.
look good. Hey, man,
Yeah.
they're getting there. They're getting there.
They're
I
getting
think
there.
they're
What do you
teams,
think, Five?
I think the Ducks are looking great, man. You know,
Right?
Emilio Estevez, great coach.
Oh, my God. Oh,
See what I mean, man?
He did not
Imagine having
go
to deal
there.
with this every day.
All right. Well,
Jesus, man.
I'm glad this is your segment. Maybe he doesn't need to. All right. Ever. Well, thank you so much for joining us. All right. So I just want to go down the list here. You do everything for H. You do a lot of music. You know, what music? What would you say? Director?
I would say the
Would you
music
pic-
director, yeah, for HMC.
for HMC. So you're, you're getting all the songs, that putting them on the website. You got, you're also, did radio for so many years. You're in nightclubs. A lot of DJs think radio just. I guess I want to touch on the radio side.
Okay.
A lot of DJs just think that or radio just plays whatever's hot. How much of what gets played actually is like planned, and how much comes down to what people really want to hear? Because I know I did radio for 17 years, and
Yeah.
I think there's
Holy
like this,
moly.
yeah, there's like this. I like. There's certain things we can't talk about, but it's never said that we couldn't talk about it. And like even playlists, when I tell people, they're like, oh, they thought I picked songs when I talked on the radio, and they're like, yo, play this next. I'm like, man, we got a playlist. Like, we don't have any, so why don't you go into like, I guess maybe some of the behind the scenes of like what actually is involved in a big radio station, like, in LA.
It's definitely like structured, right? You don't just. I DJed on the radio for a long time, and I did like a traffic jam with Felly Fell. I don't just get to bring my laptop and just say, you know what, today I'm going to play this. I'm going to play a new LA record that's hot. It's definitely very organized, categories by what's hot, and not only what's hot, but what tests well. These radio stations, especially big markets like LA, they do call outs where they I mean, I don't know how they do it now, but it's very research based, right? If
Call out,
records-
we're still doing call outs when I was still there, whatever, but it sounds like such a dated thing, but they would actually call you and say, would you like to take this survey? And you would be like, hey, do you like song A, B, or C? Press 1, 2, or 3. And then that's how they would determine if the song gets played in rotation.
Yeah, if you go and even if you go and look at an old CD, like an old CD single from the 90s or like even early 2000s, it'll have the clean, dirty instrumental, and it'll have like a call out, which is like 10, 15 seconds. And that was what they would play.
Oh, that's crazy. I just remember that too. Yeah.
But it's definitely, very research based, and a lot of, I don't know if you listen to the radio now, but people complain about how the radio plays the same 15 songs all the time, and that's mainly because people don't listen to the radio for that long. So while you're in your car for 8 minutes, they're trying to keep you, locked in for those 8 minutes, and they got to play the hot records or whatever those records may be.
It was power, like our power rotation. That means like your number ones, like your
five.
Yeah, your 5 biggest songs. Our rotation was every 45 minutes or 43 minutes or something like that. So, and they did it based on how long people are in the car for.
Yeah.
So if your average commute for a driver was from point A to point B, that was about 40 some minutes, they want to make sure you hit every one of those top songs in that time period. So when people are like, they used to call and be like, yo man, play this song. I'm like, yo, we have to hit, it's not up to me. It's all calculated. It's much more things happening behind the scenes. So even when you were mixing on the radio, like there's still playlists and there's still things you have to hit.
And when you're doing mix show, it's not necessarily in what order you're playing these records that are literally on a sheet of paper, right? And with the time, if I'm on at 3 p.m., there's these records that I have to play at 3 p.m. And I don't necessarily have to play them in the order that they're on that sheet, but they do need to get played. And then you can sprinkle in a few like older records, which are called recurrents, of course. But it's still very calculated, very organized. For that reason, because people don't listen for that long. It's a machine.
Yeah, it's a machine. And then this was obviously we've been doing it for a long time, but things have changed, but still go back to that old way of doing stuff. For artists trying to break a record, to get a song on the radio, what would you say that people are listening and they were like, hey, I want to get my song on a big top radio station in my market? Is it relationships, money, streaming numbers, clubs, TikTok, or is it what's the biggest mover? What determines that?
The biggest mover is literally your record that you're trying to get on the radio. It's crazy because, especially in 2026, you're like, damn, I want to hear my song on the radio. How do I do that? When you can just put it on Spotify, but and it's out, right? And anybody can play it, but there's just something nostalgic or something that just hits when you hear your record on the radio, right? But I think it really just comes down to the music. And now these days, you got to have a big following. You got to be big on TikTok. So if the record's already viral, I don't think you can just say, hey, how do I get this song played on the radio? Can I call the station? Should I email them my record? I don't think it works that way anymore.
I think also radio is very important just because they're not just playing so you go on a Spotify list or you go on to any type of streaming, there's just thousands of records, right? And you heard that once. But I think radio, it's like, hey, these are the top, let's say 60 or top 20 in rotation. The fact that you get your song in those top 20 it says a lot, and you beat out a lot of other people.
They don't call it top 40 for nothing, right? It's literally the top 40 records, and those are the ones that just get run all day, every day.
Mm-hmm. Super important. Yeah, there you go. Five's learning new stuff. There you go. What's a song that you heard early and immediately thought this is going to be huge before everyone else caught on? Was there something that back in your days?
Like back in the day? Dang.
Yeah, like something that you're like, hey man, they maybe an artist came to the radio station and it was just like, oh, this is going to blow up.
Damn, I can't think of anything like that off the top, but I remember when I heard Mo Bamba for the first time. I was with my homie in the car and he's like, damn, this song's annoying as shit, right? I'm like, bro, it's about to go off. But damn, I'm sure there are a lot of records that, especially back in the day being on Power, we would have meetings during the week, one day a week, and artists would come and play their records for us, like big artists, right? So we got to hear a lot of stuff, but I can't really think of one day or one scenario when I was like, yeah, this one's about to go crazy. There's a lot though.
We used to have Kanye bring us pizzas, and Kanye would do a pizza party. And just to think about that, coming back and being in Chicago, it's like we were more top 40. So GCI was more of the, I don't know what they call it, hip hop, urban R&B station. So he was there first, but when he finally started crossing over to the pop world, he was trying to get everyone on as like, hey, I'm the new artist, this and that, because it's a crossover between genres. So, or just different types of radio.
Yeah.
And Kanye used to come and they'd be like, the label would be like, yo, he's doing a pizza party, bring the whole staff, eat pizza with Kanye. And this is before he was massive or he's just coming out. But to look back at that and be like, man, these guys used to hustle. Even at this is what 2004, 2000, something like that, whatever year it was. But yeah, it's just to look back at those things.
I remember, now that you mentioned Kanye, I remember Post Malone came to the station one time. First of all, Post Malone is like the best dude ever. Like anyone who's ever met Post knows exactly what I'm talking about. He's just like the nicest dude. But the label took him to a pool, like a pool hall in Burbank. Pretty big pool hall. And we were there, just a bunch of power DJs and a couple of people that work at the station. And this is when Congratulations was already out. So I heard that and I was like, those records will be big.
That's pretty awesome.
But we couldn't find him. We were playing pool, shooting pool with him. And then 20 minutes went by and Stephanie Cole, who used to work at the record label, was like, where the hell's Post? The dude was downstairs with like fans buying everybody drinks and smoking a cigarette outside. Like literally opened up a tab and was just buying drinks for everybody. That was really cool.
Awesome.
Fire.
Such a great guy.
Posty is definitely one of the early, like we heard him early and knew like, damn, this dude's about
We had
to
a
go crazy.
pizza party with him at HMC too.
Yeah, we had a little HMC event with him, and he, of course, if you have Bud Light, he's chilling. He had to go to an event that night. He's like, no, I don't want to leave.
You love Bud Light.
Bud Light.
All right, so you hear tons of edits. And no, this is going to your HMC work here.
Yep. Which I'm actually way behind on today because of you guys. So I appreciate
Sorry.
Yo,
Okay,
Scratchy, you might want to give me some more time today, brother.
I want to get down to, okay, for people that are listening, DJs that are listening, or producers that are listening, all right, you got to tell them what are some things you look for going like, yo, this is perfect. I love this edit. And then this versus, nah, this is not playable, or just things that like you kind of your ear, what you listen for when you're going through these songs to get put on a website.
That's a good question. I think more than anything, before the type of edit it is, it's got to be like sonically done well, right? Like if it's out of key, if you're putting an instrumental and an acapella together and they just don't fit, I can hear within the first 10
Biggest
seconds.
pet peeve right there.
Dude, I got a bigger one than that, but yeah,
Hey,
like,
yo.
but yeah, gotta make these records in key. And I don't know, sometimes I hear edits and I'm like, wait, one, why are these two records together? And then like, how did you even think of this, right? But I think that's the biggest thing, right? Having records in key, making them sound good. I remember Rick Wonder telling me one time, he's like, yo, I'm about to send you a couple edits. I just got to do a car run real quick. I'm like, a car run? He's like, yeah, I go in the car and I listen to it in the car. Make sure it sounds good in the car. But yeah, do that. Maybe listen to it in the car, put it in your AirPods, your MacBook speakers, and make sure it sounds good. Because if it doesn't sound good, look, coming out of your car, it's not going to sound good in a club. And sometimes I hear like stemmed out acapellas that are really bad. But yeah, just make your record sound, your edits sound clean.
I got
think it's the biggest thing.
Volume level.
That's another
like
one.
that's like a big pet peeve for me, because people will send things and you're like, I mean, dude, they're all the levels are just different. They're not using anything to process it. So it's like the acapella is coming in a lot higher than the drums, and it sounds like a mess, or the whole waveform is like super skinny.
Yeah,
and it's just like
either that or super thick too.
Yeah.
And like it's like overproduced, right? Like,
I don't think you need to be putting like edits through a crazy limiter or anything like that. And I'm like the last guy to talk to about doing edits.
Well, they're already processed songs too, so you're basically processing a song and then reprocessing it, and then you don't need to do that much. But anyway,
I think keep it simple, man. Keep it simple. Make sure the edit sounds good. If it's something that just makes a record sound better, right? If there's a song that needs an edit, or that's another thing. There's certain records that don't need you don't need an Afro House remix of Chris Lorenzo in this bitch, right? You don't. There's no need for that.
10 of them, yeah.
There's no need for that. But yeah, if it helps the record, if you're bringing back an old song, just make it fit. Make it
clap intros.
Clap intros. I know that's a crazy topic sometimes, but whatever helps you play the record. If a clap intro helps you play the record out, then play it. But
yeah,
I think that's what's dope about HMC. There's a little bit of everything for anyone, right? Maybe a bar DJ doesn't need a set starter that K's has made for a big room, but there's a little bit for everybody.
I love those.
I wanted to talk about edits some more. Do DJs overcomplicate edits now? Does you kind of touched on it a little bit. Does everything need a thing? Are there certain times where it's just kind of like, hey, you don't need. Are you getting a lot of stuff that's submitted that's just kind of like, we don't need that extra drum in there, or we don't need. It's getting messy. It's taking away from the original song, and you just kind of shy away from it.
Yeah, I think like the re-drum thing is a little overdone. Like we just got an edit recently of I don't know if it was a cheetah print edit, but the Drake album just came out, and I like people who are proactive and you want to get on the music early, but there's no reason to have an edit of cheetah print when it just came out 3 days ago, right? But yeah, re-drums, and sometimes it gets muddy. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but just keep it simple. I think.
Drums on drums often get muddy. You can just hear it, and they don't take out the other one. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, so let's talk about your touring a little bit. You've toured with Tyga.
Yeah, I have.
For everyone who doesn't know who Tyga is, I mean, then this podcast probably isn't for you. Anyway, but what's something about DJing for an artist that a club DJ? It's just there's a big I guess talk about the difference between a club and DJing for an artist.
Oh, that's a huge difference. And shout out to my dog Sour Milk, who's Tyga's official DJ.
What up, Milk?
But I've toured with Tyga a lot too when Milk can't be there for whatever reason. So I've known Tyga for a long time and done a lot of shows around the world with him. But it's completely different. Being a club DJ and an artist DJ is way different. That you're in a club, you might be on the flyer, you're the headliner. In an artist setting, you're just support. You're there to help, the artists execute their show. So you have to be very, very aware of like when things change. A record he might not want to do that record, and he might hit me with like yo, cut it. Or like, it's just a lot of adapting on the fly, and it's actually a really, really tough job. Very hard.
Is there the times that I've had to DJ with artists, there's always, they give you a set list and it's never the set. I've had that where is there a lot of kind of like last minute audibles where they're just calling last minute on the fly and they're like, hey, we're not even doing that song, or like pull this next three.
Tyga will he'll text me, or we'll meet before a show, especially depending on like the kind of show it is. If it's in front of 50,000 people, obviously you want to be way more prepared than if you're just doing a nightclub appearance. But yeah, he'll shoot me like a text, like, all right, we're gonna do these three, and then he'll leave like a little space. It's crazy. Like I could show you a text one day, but he'll hit me with like 3 or 4 records in a row, and then he'll put a space and then 2 more records, and that space means like, all right, we're gonna talk, get the crowd hype or whatever, and then he'll hit me with like, all right, let's do 1 verse of Faded, or let's do 2 verses of Loyal or whatever. But all that can change because he's no different than a DJ playing a club, right? You're kind of reading a room. And he's doing the same thing. Maybe this record's not going as crazy as he thought it would, so he'll cut it after 1 verse, and then he'll let me know, give me like the look, and I have to be on it. There's been times I remember where we were in Spain, we were in Barcelona, and he wanted to do just 1 verse of a record, and I completely forgot, and I went to like the 2nd verse, and he looked at me like, bruh. Like, he was so mad at me.
You're like, yes, I love this record. You're like, hell yeah.
I'm like, damn, man, my bad. But yeah, it happens. You have to be able to adapt on the fly.
It's a good song. Then you're just like, hey, man, let it ride. All right. So you're still active on Twitch. I know a lot of us, we were doing a lot of Twitch.
And then you bailed out on us when the clubs opened up.
Yeah. So
Jerzy hated Twitch.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, hold on. I still can do it. I just didn't like being stuck in a box. I just don't like, I like being out.
What do you mean?
Like, I like being in front of people. I like seeing people. I like talking to people. I like interaction. I like seeing their energy. I have nothing. I don't hate on anybody on Twitch. It was just kind of like, for me, I'm like, I feel like
he was having
I was like having a panic attack. I'm like, I don't like,
You would call us like, what do I do? Who do I talk to? Like, I'm gonna talk to a chat. Like, how do I do this?
I feel
like you're getting anxiety just thinking about it.
Oh, dude, it was, my palms are so, I just didn't like that part. Because I can do anything like, like I'm talking to you guys, that's fine. But when you don't see people, it's just, anyway. So tell us about how Twitch has been going since we've departed.
Twitch, I mean, man, Twitch has been a huge platform for me. just going back to the pandemic, like I was, as a matter of fact, Twitch has helped me even do something like what we're doing today. Before, I was more kind of afraid to be in front of a camera or a little intimidated by it. Now I don't even care. It's just kind of like second nature. But Twitch has been great, man. I've built a cool little community. You know, I stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays and just do a couple hours in the afternoon. And it's more of a hangout. I'm not really like showcasing my DJ skills, quote unquote, or not breaking records as much like that. But just kind of hanging out with people. And like I said, built a community. It's almost become more of like a show, like just almost like a podcast in itself. You
might be the most consistent DJ on
and
Twitch,
I think that's
too,
the most important thing too, man. Like you have to be consistent on it. I've been doing it for 6 years now, and you know, built some cool friends, and just, you know, being on Twitch every week. And I think it's still a great platform. And if you have the time to do it, I don't see why not. I know it's definitely a lot of work, you know, being on Twitch every week. It kind of takes a toll at times. It doesn't feel like a job, but it does feel like, all right, I got to get, you know, I got to do all my stuff before because I got to do a little live stream. But
the community part you were talking about is also, that was something that I did like, where you were meeting people from all over the world, and people, you know, like, hey, you know, this guy's checking in from Australia and he's listening to your stuff and they're commenting. So there's definitely, the reach is awesome. The community's great. I think.
Let me tell you how great the community is. I mean, I can point to a lot of stuff, but for example, we all have, especially you guys who have played, you know, way more rooms than I have, big rooms and whatever, but like you get that homie or somebody like, yo, bro, I know you're at this place tonight. Do you mind if I pull up and support? Like, you got a guest list, bro? Can I pull up? And it's like, cool, I understand you want to come to the club, but is that really supporting me? To whereas on Twitch, all these people that I've met, their way of supporting is literally, I'm going to buy a ticket to wherever you're at, or can I? You know, literally, they support. You put merch out, they're the first to buy it. Just a really cool community on Twitch, for sure.
That is something that is really cool about Twitch, and I do appreciate that. Tell us, so obviously you've done a lot and you have a huge resume. What's one trend in DJ music right now that you think people might be forcing too hard, or what you're kind of seeing? Because, you know, just from all the editors and DJs and producers that send you stuff, is there something that's just kind of like, hey man, it's that wave is kind of over, or it's just, you know, they're pushing it too much?
Like genre wise, you mean, or
I think the question for me is like, there's too many things, copycats maybe. Are you seeing a lot of that? Is it just getting oversaturated? Is it kind of like, hey, stop with making these, or like, let's stop putting these types of things out?
Yeah, I guess, like, and everyone has their own style and their own flavor. So I'm not opposed to receiving or listening to edits that might sound the same or whatever, but I feel like I kind of hit I don't know, I just, like, to me, bass house, I'm just so burned out on like bass house edits, right? You hear everyone's got a bass house edit or a bass house record, and I love bass house, but I just feel, for me, I've gotten a lot of edits and they're like, all right, these all kind of sound the same.
Yeah.
Or
same like ballet funk too, right?
Yeah, ballet funk you can get a little more creative with, but
what's refreshing to you then?
Damn, right now I really like a Miami bass vibe, like really electronic drums. You know what's to me starting to make a little bit of a comeback, little by little, is like festival trap.
Yeah.
I mean,
we were talking about that.
Yeah.
We just talked about that in the last podcast. It's like trap music is kind of, or the festival, or EDM trap, or whatever.
Kind of tough to play in a big room, but not really, right? You can find ways to do it. Like,
it works well with hip hop too, though. Yeah, I mean, like, for me, I had to still play a lot of it for like, I did stuff for I do the music for the Blackhawks. So during warm-ups, they're like, we need high energy music with hip hop. The players at the time, are like, all the players want to hear hip hop. And I'm like, high energy hip hop. And I'm like, what? Then I started going through my library, and I'm like, oh wait, there's, you know, a sicko mode acapella over this trap drop and stuff like that. And it just kind of, I kind of always stayed up on it. And now I'm seeing more and more of it coming into, I guess, you know, our space. Yeah.
Skrillex put out a record called Smoke that's so fire. And then Dylan Francis got a new one. You go listen to that record if you haven't. It's definitely nostalgic, like festival trap, not too aggressive, right? Not very dubstep, but literally more
it's
trap.
Like it's smooth. I feel like I don't know how to even describe it. It's
like
it's
you can play it during a hip hop set and it'll sound cool, right?
Yeah, and I think there's that fine line of like, you know, because sometimes I feel like trap slowly turns into dubstep a little bit, like some of the sounds. So as long as it's not too noisy, but there's a bunch of new artists.
That's definitely it for me. Like when records get too noisy or too busy, right? That's when I'm like, I'm kind of checked out.
Yeah, for sure. All right, my last question here. All right, you hear more music than most DJs. What's something DJs are sleeping on right now that you think is about to blow up?
I think that's it right there. I think festival trap, the disco house stuff is really cool to me. Like the another record that we talked about, Kung's always has a few cool records like that. But I mean, to me, dance house is gonna be big all the time. It's just
forever,
It's global too. It's global.
Yeah. What kind of flavor or what kind of like fusion are producers and DJs making or playing? But yeah, the festival trap would be cool to see it come back. Aoki put out a record over the weekend that's like straight hip hop, which is really dope too.
Really?
Yeah. It's called Young. But yeah, I think like the Miami bass vibes. I know we're like a couple of years in on that, but still sounds really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Really cool to me.
All right. Well, there you go. DJ Ever from Orange County, Anaheim. Thank you so much for answering the 10 questions and being on the pod with us.
All
really
right.
Appreciate it.
Of course, man.
All right. Let's go over. Hey, make sure you follow us on X and on YouTube. Be sure to leave reviews. It really helps the show. Also on Apple Podcasts and everywhere else that you can listen to us. Make sure you send your edits to earbuds at headlinermusicclub.com. We'll get those on the next show. Closing, I want to thank Ever, of course, Scratchy. We got James, Good Chill, doing our playlist on Spotify. Make sure you check that out.
Very healthy.
Healthy. All right. I want to 5. You got playlists you want to plug?
Yeah, the DJ5 playlist on Headliner Music Club. It is updated.
Ooh, I
there
like
you
that.
go. That's how
I like that.
And we got Open House Radio every Tuesday, 8 p.m. PT, and Open House Sessions. We have videos uploading every Thursday on YouTube.
Sexy.
Shoot those edits to the earbuds email too. I'll take a listen to those, and I know that. I mean, there's for all the bad edits that we get, there's also a lot of great ones. So whether maybe you don't like it or you feel like I shouldn't send this edit, do it. Just send it, man. You never know.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly. I think we do get some bad ones, but at the same time, the idea may be there. It's like, I understand what you're trying to get.
Yeah,
but it's
and Ever has the ear for it. He can tell you what you need to fix and what needs
debatable.
to happen. You know? Yeah.
Hey, Ever, give out your personal email address. Does everyone send stuff to you? Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Earbuds at headlinermusicclub.com.
Right. Great. Perfect. All right. Open House Radio. Neil's not here, but we just want to plug that. Make sure you listen to it on
Surface
Friday.
to Air Radio, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Damn it. Surface to Air Radio. I swapped up my order here. All right. Surface to Air Radio. Neil's show that he's got on Diplo's Revolution. Is that Fridays?
Like every other Friday.
He's gonna hate us for this. Yeah, it's every other Friday.
Oh my God, you guys are bad friends.
We're bad friends.
He left us. Okay, just not forget that. Okay, cool. That's pretty much it. We'll see you guys next month. Have a great Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah, where are you guys at this weekend?
Man, I got a private gig on Friday, and then I'm off on Saturday and Sunday, so I can just barbecue or something.
I'm in Boston at Cavo, and Sunday I'm in DJs in Jersey Shore.
Wow. Ooh. I'll be in Palm Springs. It's gonna be hot.
Ooh.
Literally like hot.
Is there nightclubs in Palm Springs?
Yeah, there's a big one called Reform. I shout to my dog Eric. That's probably the bigger one. It's fun. Like you get a super open format.
So bring your Speedo, dog. It's gonna be hot.
I got it.
Hey, and send us videos from DJs. That place always looks wild. That's yes,
that's a good time.
Yeah, it looks fun. All right, cool, guys. We'll catch all of you next month, and have a great rest of the week. Peace.
Have a good one.